What's going on, everybody, and welcome to this Wednesday, January 28th, Glenn Rothschild's birthday today.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we are celebrating that. Cheers, Glenn.
Cheers to Glenn. What's up?
I would have
man?
got some Crown Royal if I knew this.
I didn't know we were doing a toast at the beginning, or I would have gotten a beer.
Happy birthday to him. We could do a toast at the end, but I just wanted to get it out of the way because we tend to forget things as we go on.
That happens.
Yeah, we're a day late just because schedules are all off. I've had my son home for like 12 days now, and he was even on a 2-hour delay today, but obviously that's not going to affect the show. So that's why we didn't do it yesterday because, yeah, my son was off school again yesterday, and these two guys had some other stuff to do as well, and we were all free today, so why not move it to today?
Dusty and I think we're just sick. It's like the natural head cold shit.
Yeah. Cheers to the birthday, man, says Nick Vote. Yeah, cheers to Mr. Glenn. We love you, Dad. I know he's at work right now. They just brought him in a cake and sang him happy birthday at work. So
nice.
I called him just about 30 minutes ago. So he's having fun.
Should have bought him a new fridge.
A new fridge? Why's that?
We said his fridge died last week or something like that.
No, it was the water pump.
No, well, they've had a hell of a last week. And it wasn't even, I guess it wasn't even the water pump. It was like the electrical thing that warms because they're on septic there and everything.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that was not set to the right temperature, and it froze and blah, blah, blah. And then right after they get that fixed, somebody slides off the road and hits the pole and their electricity goes out.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they had water or electricity for most of Sunday, so they couldn't watch the first
storm
football game and the first half of the second football game. They just they had no power. So yeah, it's been a rough go for them, in January, but they're going on vacation soon, so they'll be all right.
Well, good. And happy birthday to Mr. Glenn. He's the man. It's always good seeing him whenever he's around. And congratulations to him getting the new Chargers offensive coordinator, one that I think the Ravens we kind of talked about that we wanted.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Delaware Dave just shot me a text, and he wants to compliment you, Dusty, on the pride of Seaford, Delaware, Mr. Delano Bop the Shields.
Oh, yeah, baby. Seaford High School.
Yeah.
So we're live at the Pig and Rooster right now.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. What is today? What is today's Glenn's birthday? Is today number 71 for Dad?
Today is number 71. Yep.
Yeah.
71. Last year was the big 7-0. So,
yeah.
We've got a lot of stuff to get into today. We've got a lot of coaching carousel stuff in the NFL. Some Bill Belichick news, which I'm sure is going to make everyone real happy and hunky-dory. We've got not very much on the baseball front, but still a lot of links from Framber Valdez to the Orioles and, some golf stuff we want to talk about as well. Where do you guys want to start? You want to start with the Todd Monken stuff that just came out?
Yeah, why don't we start there because that's fresh. And then why don't we go to Belichick?
Okay. Browns are hiring Todd Monken as their new head coach. I don't know what your guys' initial thought was, but my initial thought is, I don't know, maybe this is Monken saying, hey, this is probably my only chance I'm going to get to be an NFL head coach. Maybe I should just take it. I don't think a lot of people were really interested in this Browns job. I don't know why you would be. Although they do have a Pro Bowl quarterback, which we'll talk about
here momentarily.
Todd Monken is a lot of people thought he might be going to the Giants with John Harbaugh. I guess that was contingent on him not getting one of these head coaching jobs, which he has taken with the Browns. Do you think this is a good hire or bad hire? You think this is a lame duck transition coach? What do you think this makes? What do you think this is? How do you feel for Monken, and how do you feel for the Brown side? I guess.
Brooksy.
For the Browns side, I do. I mean, I think they're very much a throw shit at the wall and see what sticks kind of an organization. So, I mean, he must have wowed them in an interview for them not to wait for Steelhouse and Webb and whoever and Kubiak and whoever else, unless they've gotten word that they're basically getting the jobs elsewhere, which could have happened. Who knows? And they just went that route. But yeah, I mean, you're only going to get at most 10 10 to 15 years out of Todd if he ends up working out, right? So
If
that's a long time. That's a long time if it works out. But
Have the Browns ever had a coach for 10 years?
I
no,
seriously doubt it. I mean, you'd have to go back to the beginning of the league and search those records. I don't know.
Jim Brown, was he a player coach?
they haven't had an owner for 15 years. So no, no.
But on Todd's side, I think you're right, Dusty. I think this is probably him saying, like, hey, this is my last hurrah. Probably my first and last opportunity to get a head coaching job. Let's see if it works out. If it doesn't, then I could see him riding off into the sunset. Who knows, right? I mean, he's 60 years old. I wouldn't blame him. But it's also a double-edged sword. If you're a Harbaugh, you're gonna coach till you physically can't anymore. So
I mean, look, he's younger than Harbaugh. I mean, Harbaugh's 62, 63, one of those. And look, I mean, what do you have to lose here? Okay, let's say it goes really bad with the Browns, which most likely it will. And I hate to be a naysayer, but let's just call a spade. Read the history. He can go back and be an OC, either in college or in the NFL.
if he wants to, right? And like if he, and to Lars' point, if he does turn it around, he's a hero in Cleveland forever.
Yeah, he's never buying a beer ever.
Yeah. So I don't know. If I'm the Browns side, I mean, as a Browns fan, do I love this move? Probably not. With some of the younger guys out there, do I hate it? Probably not. But do I love it? Probably not as well. I'm pretty indifferent about this, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I'm happy for the guy. I mean, I thought he did a good job here. I know that things went a little awry this past season, but I mean, the first year he was here was great. I mean, look, he was a very successful coordinator at Georgia. So
I think he did a great job in Baltimore. To your point, because I mean, does he have his faults? Yes, we've talked about it. Like, does Henry go missing at times when we're scratching our head? Yes. I don't know how much of that blame gets put on him. I think some of it should, because he should be the one saying it. So should Harbaugh. If that's Willie Taggart going up to New York now, I don't know. Regardless, does everybody have faults? Yes. You're never going to have a perfect coordinator or head coach or whatever, but I mean, listening to him speak, he's a no bullshit kind of a guy, which maybe that organization needs. And he doesn't, I don't know. He kind of reminds me of our dad. I mean, which is funny because it's his birthday. He doesn't sugarcoat shit. If he thinks something, he's going to tell it to you, which is what players want. They don't want you lying to them. They want you to tell it how it is, how it's going right now, and how you're seeing it. I mean, is it going to rub people the wrong way? Maybe, but it all came out that all that bullshit made up stories about him and Lamar not liking each other was bullshit, it seems like. So, yeah, I don't know.
And look, this is a shot in the arm to Shedeur Sanders. And maybe he can also develop Dylan Gabriel. You got two opportunities.
Yeah.
And let's see what you got. And worst comes worst, you go back in the draft, not this year, but next year, because next year's draft class is, in terms of quarterbacks, is much better. And you can make a pick.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to agree with most of the things you guys said. I don't really have any other thoughts. I'm going through the Browns head coaches now, just because I just made that comment. Have they ever had a coach for 10 years? No. Well, they did. Paul Brown. From
Let me check my watch.
62. Yeah.
The battery's dead on Paul Brown.
Since 1999, they've had 13 head coaches. How many of them do you think you can name?
Let's go through.
All right, so you got the list here, Dusty. I'm going to go Pat Shurmur. Pat Shurmur. Yeah.
I'll fill in. I'll let you start and I'll fill in.
Okay.
Go ahead, Brian.
All right, so I got Pat Shurmur. We got Stefanski, duh.
Patton. I know Patton.
Mike Patton. That's correct.
Schwartz. They were interviewing this time because he was the Lions.
Yeah, he was the Lions.
Belichick, obviously.
Well, that's 95.
That was in the early
part. Okay.
You're talking about the new Cleveland Browns, right?
Yeah, since the Tim Couch of it all.
Oh my God, this is awful.
This is really bad, guys. Come on, there's a couple you really need to get.
I know there's a lot on there that I'm.
Oh my. One of them has the worst. One of them has the worst winning percentage in the history of the NFL.
Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson.
Should have known that.
One of them also coached the Jets.
That's an equal opportunity awfulness.
I don't know, man.
I think he coached the Jets.
Name him.
Mangini? Did he coach the Jets?
Eric
Mangini,
Mangini.
yeah.
All right,
He coached
yeah.
the Jets.
Was he
Man-
that? I thought he would have been back in the day, like
2009.
wow. I would not have expected it to be that recent.
I'll go backwards. Kevin Stefanski, longest tenured coach since Paul Brown. He coached there from 2020 to 2025. Freddie Kitchens was right before him.
Oh
Right
my
before
God!
him
Never.
was- Go ahead. You
Yeah.
forgot about Freddie Kitchens.
Holy shit! Oh, Fredo! How did I forget Fredo?
We forgot interim head coach Greg Williams with 2 G's. He was
forgot
hired when
about
Hugh
him.
Jackson got fired. Mike Pettin was before him. Rob Chudzinski.
I
Chudzinski
would
had
never
one
would have
right
remembered
before
that.
him.
No.
Pat Shermer, Eric Mangini. Romeo Cornell is one I thought you guys would get.
Yeah, I
Um,
should have got that.
Terry Robisky was an interim coach after Butch Davis got fired, and Chris Palmer was before that. Before that, they didn't have a team, and then before that was
Where's
Or they didn't have a
Chudzinski
team.
where's Chudzinski and Chris Palmer these days? Are they
I think they're
coaching
working
anymore?
at the tire shop down the street.
Yeah, and if you're 9 years old and worried about cussing, maybe you probably don't want to be on this channel.
Yeah. Rob Chudzinski is the one of the assistant head coaches at Boston College. He's an offensive analyst. Chris Palmer does not have a picture on his Wikipedia page. He was most recently employed by the Buffalo Bills as an offensive assistant in 2016. So that's
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay.
so not an esteemed group of gentlemen there. The highest winning percentage of any of those guys was Stefanski by a mile.
By a
And that was,
mile, yeah.
But that was at 430 or something like that. Hugh Jackson's winning percentage was .088.
I think he won one game.
3
in
and
three?
36. 3 and 36
Three?
was his final tally.
Wow.
I was gonna say. I think he had the completely defeated season. I thought he had a completely defeated. I thought he had a 1-win season, and I wasn't sure if he got a third season.
Did the Browns lose? Did they?
Thought
go
they did.
Completely defeated.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I know
the Lions did it, and I know the Bucks did it
Miami.
in 72.
Miami, right?
Miami went 1-15. They beat the
They
Ravens.
beat us.
Yeah, they beat us. Cam Cameron.
I think the Lions did it twice, actually.
Wait,
the
hey,
Browns did it in 2017, 0-16. You're right.
It's
Yeah.
incredible. I will say this to be self-serving to the Ravens. Jim Schwartz not getting hired might lead to him being our D coordinator.
That would be fucking awesome.
Mhm.
I would absolutely love that. But also, the Raiders and the Cardinals jobs are still out there. Is he being interviewed for either of those?
I
don't
don't
know.
think so.
I don't know.
Those are the only 2 jobs, by the way, that have not filled their head coaching openings.
And you
as
got
of-
Steelhouse, Webb, and Kubiak are like the big names, or the young up and comer names, I guess, are still out there.
We also
And
have
I saw
breaking news
Ron-
that Giannis.
Oh, Ron
Giannis-
Rivera.
Giannis
Yeah.
Rivera interviewed
Antetokounmpo
with
is
the Cardinals.
officially requested a trade from Milwaukee Bucks. I know you guys probably don't care as much about that, but that's big news for the NBA.
That makes sense because the trade deadline's next week. So he's
Yeah.
he's got a hurt ankle right now, so he's not going to play for him ever again.
Yeah, he's done. He's done in Milwaukee. They needed to move on a long time ago, and they have none of their picks. All right. So Monken, we can move off of. The Browns, we can move off of. What do we think about Dayball going to join Salah in Tennessee? Apparently, there was reports that the Giants were in big on Cam Ward last year, even so much as offering the 3rd overall pick last year and
That makes sense.
and another 1st-round pick on top of it to try to trade up to 1 to get Cam Ward last year. And now Dayball gets to go over there and coach him.
Well,
on
that
the
makes.
offensive
I didn't
end.
know that until you just said that, so that makes
I
perfect sense.
I just saw that, and this is not confirmed. This is one of those like these are rumors, but it's it's probably.
Have they hired a D coordinator yet?
I don't know. I would
No.
imagine that Salah's going to be mostly running the defense, and
Gonna
that
be a
would probably be like a
placeholder.
figueard kind of guy. But I don't really know for
The
sure.
only reason I ask is this would be a great coaching staff, all bald dudes. I mean, that's killer. I mean, the only team that can say that, it's all bald guys.
First team all bald guys.
First team, all bald dudes.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great hire
This
for
is true.
Tennessee. I think pairing him with Saleh, I think it makes a lot of sense. I honestly thought Daboll was going to get a head coaching job, and I think he will probably next year or the year after. I think similarly about Mike McDaniel going to the Chargers to be their offensive coordinator. I think these guys are just trying to take these jobs with players they like, maybe systems they like, and then maybe show what they can do.
Yeah, I was gonna say they need to go somewhere that's gonna make them look good. So
Yeah.
I think these are great. This is a great hire for Tennessee. I think they immediately become more formidable in my head. Saleh and Daboll are real NFL coaches. I think they'll turn that program around a little bit, and they're not going to be as embarrassingly bad as they were this year. Because man, they were rough. They were a rough watch most of the season this year. Didn't watch a lot of the Tennessee Titans. That's for sure. Unless the Raiders offer him a head coach job. Yeah, that's true. I should have qualified that, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're not going to announce these things unless they kind of know. That's not happening.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, same thing with Mike McDaniel. They said the same thing with him.
Yeah.
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady getting promoted from OC to head coach in Buffalo. Do we like this for Buffalo? Do we think that Josh Allen had some input into this? I don't know. What do we think here?
Well, he definitely had input. He was in all the meetings apparently with all the head coaching candidates they had, and they interviewed a bunch of guys. This hire really cements that Sean McDermott was he's a scapegoat in this entire thing. They're keeping basically the exact same staff. They're running it back without their head coach.
He hasn't been hired yet, right? McDermott.
Yeah. It'd be really funny if they hired him he hires him as the defensive coordinator. They would just switch roles. What if Joe Brady's like, my first order of business, bring in Sean McDermott?
I wonder if any coach has ever just taken a coordinator job for the same team. Has any coach ever accepted a demotion? I mean, maybe there's like an interim coach that like got the head coaching job and then went back to their coordinator job the next season when they hired a new coach.
It's funny you bring that up because the first name that came to mind was Lou Fickell, and I know this is a very random reference, but this is where my brain goes all the time. Lou Fickell at Ohio State was the interim head coach at Ohio State, and then when they brought in Ryan Day, he became Ryan Day's one of his coordinators, like D coordinator, O coordinator at Ohio State. So he accepted a demotion. Then he ended up getting the job at Cincinnati or something like that.
Luke,
yeah, I'm sure it happens with interim guys. But yeah,
he was the linebackers coach / co-defensive coordinator. He was the interim coach in 2011, and then he went back to that job for 5 years and did that DC linebacker coaching job. Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, back to the Joe Brady stuff. This kind of boggles my mind a little bit because I mean, if you go on Twitter and you look at like Bill's Twitter, a lot of I know everybody was pretty happy with how things went last year when he took over and they fired what's his name from Miami. I can't think of his name right now. The Ken Dorsey, and I think everybody was pretty happy about how everything went last year. But then you see on Bill's Twitter, like they put a lot of blame on this season on Joe Brady as well. So it's a little bit interesting to me. So, but I mean, it seemed like, I don't know if this is true or not, but it seemed like the Ravens were very high on Joe Brady. So, I mean, he was one of the few that got second interviews.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams were high on him. I mean, I think his familiarity with the organization and with the offense probably helps him here. Do you think that really is like, if you're a player in the NFL, do you think that there's something to that continuity? Or do you think because these guys are all professionals that stuff kind of tends not to matter as much?
I think it matters. I think it matters a ton.
I think it definitely matters.
Yeah, I'm not, and Brooks and I aren't going to, and nor are you, Dusty, going to act like we know what it's like to be a quarterback and learn an entire new offense. It's like learning a new language, apparently. I think it has a big situation, you don't have to reset yourself, basically, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I guess the familiarity aspect of it probably helps. And also, like if you're coaching in the NFL, you need to be a leader of men. And I think if you've been around them more, then you probably have an easier job transitioning into that role. Maybe the first 2 weeks aren't nearly as awkward for you as if you're coming into a new building. I'm sure John Harbaugh is feeling he's feeling strange feelings he hasn't felt in a long time because he's going into a building where he's not quite as familiar, as comfortable. He's not really sure what he's to expect every day. So, I guess that makes sense. But, I don't know. I guess when you think about it, I don't know. You think about them as professional businesses and organizations, so you'd feel like it wouldn't matter as much. But I don't know. Maybe
it's their job to learn a new offense or to learn a new defense, whatever it may be. But I mean, now you have that continuity, you have the same route trees, all that stuff. So the receivers don't really have to make a change. The ones that have already been there, at least. What's his name? I'm forgetting the running back's name. That was a stud this year.
James Cook.
Yeah, James Cook. Like, he doesn't have to learn any new blocking schemes or any of that stuff. So
yeah, that's true. But also, since 23, they lost Stephon Diggs, and they haven't replaced him with any kind of top flight receiver. And they haven't. I mean, their best receiver since then is Khalil Shakir and the 2 tight ends. So, I don't know. I think that you can attribute some of that to their who's the guy that got promoted? Was it Brandon Beane? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost wanted. I was so close to saying Billy Beane, and I knew it was wrong.
I want to say it every time. Every time.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy got hired by the Pittsburgh Steelers to be their head coach. Have we talked about this on the pod? I don't think we have.
No, the man has no neck. The man has no neck. It's unbelievable.
I was laughing hysterically when I found out this news. Was your reaction the same? Do you think if I'm a Pittsburgh fan, I would be so fucking mad?
Oh, go ahead, Brooks.
Yeah, I was laughing at this at first, but like the more and more I think about it, it makes a little bit of sense. I mean, the guy, say what you want about him. Like, did he underperform in Dallas? Probably, but he also got them well above what they were before Jason Garrett. When Jason Garrett was there, he transformed that team the next year he got there, and it wasn't like that drastic of a different roster. So, I could definitely see him being. I mean, I think a new voice in there is going to be good in general. So, like, do I think it's the best move in the world? No, but I think it's a safe move for them. Like, I don't want to laugh at him because I mean the man's a Super Bowl winning coach, right? So I don't know where to go with this because we saw the ending in Dallas and how he just couldn't get over the hump there. He couldn't get over the hump for a long time with Green Bay after he won the Super Bowl when everybody thought he should have. Mm-hmm. So that's where like this narrative is coming from. But he's not gonna be there for more than 10 years again. I mean, he's 63, 62 years old, whatever he is. But I mean, he's a hometown guy, so he's probably gonna want it a little bit more. It seems like he wants to do this for his family because he grew up a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and his family are also Pittsburgh Steelers fans. So I think that's a little bit of a cool aspect for them. But I thought they would go a different route for sure.
Same. And the Steelers fans feel like, and I'm not making fun of Steeler fans, they feel like they're on a different pedestal than other NFL teams, and that's totally fine because they have a lineage of just great players, great drafts, just great coaches. It seems like they want the new guy, right? The Bill Cowhers, who no one really, I mean, they knew who Bill Cowher was, but they didn't know Bill Cowher like they do now. They didn't know Mike Tomlin, but now they do. Chuck Noll, obviously, went to the Hall of Fame in 1993. They want that younger guy. Mike McCarthy, you know what you're getting already. Now, I will say this about Mike McCarthy. 2 things real fast. One, this dude lands heavy-hitting jobs. I mean, you had the 3 pillars of the NFL. I mean, hello. That's pretty damn awesome. And then second, if you actually put his stats up against John Harbaugh's, and I know we don't want to hear it as Ravens fans, they're almost spot-on identical.
Yep.
Yeah. I tend to agree with most of the things you guys said.
Pretty close to Tomlin as well.
Couple things I'll sit here and I'll disagree with you on.
Sure.
First, on that last point, Aaron Rodgers is clearly the best quarterback of any of those 3 coaches had. I mean, Harbaugh's record, most of that's with Flacco, or half of it's with Flacco, half of it's with Lamar. I think you would take Aaron Rodgers over the split between those 2 guys. And then Aaron Rodgers is clearly better than Big Ben. So if you want to look at the records, I get that. I think for Mike McCarthy, moving into Dallas, your point, Brooks, and taking that team and improving it. I think that's more an indictment on Jason Garrett than it is, an applause of Mike McCarthy. I feel like Mike McCarthy he's a consistent, constant guy, a guy who can bring stability to a team. I feel like if the needle is right here, Mike McCarthy is right here, and I feel like if you're a Steelers fan, I feel like you want that needle to move, and I feel like it hasn't for like 20 years, and that's the problem that they had with Tomlin. And now you're bringing in another guy who's doing, I would say, probably the exact same thing. And I would say not quite as good as Tomlin if I had to guess. But I don't know. We'll see what he's able to do. I just feel like you want something different. You want to change if you're Pittsburgh, and I feel like this is just kind of more of the same.
Yeah, I think I think the fans wanted a new voice in there in terms of like a younger guy and like either let's fail with him or like let's see if he can take us like propel us, one or the other. I don't think they wanted like the status quo. And I think they feel like this is more a status quo move, which I don't like. I do, but I don't think it's that. I still think he always gives you the upside of a potential Super Bowl, and he gives you like he gives you a higher floor, obviously. But I think that the Steelers fans wanted to take more of a risk and be like, all right, if we're gonna fail, let's fucking fail and let's get a better draft pick. But maybe this guy, whoever it would have been, we bring him in and he's the next Bill Belichick, whatever you want to say, the next thing, the next Sean McVay. Let's take a chance, which I get.
It's not a very desirable job, honestly. And we've said this before in the podcast. The Steelers feel old, and I'm not talking about Cam Hayward and Aaron Rodgers. They just feel old, and at some point or another, they're going to have to get away from this piecemeal shit they're doing with quarterbacks, and they're going to have to reset.
I think that's the Steelers, issue.
And you're going to go through a tumultuous year or maybe two resetting, and it's going to suck for the Steelers. And coming from a Ravens fan, obviously that's going to benefit us very well, but they're going to have to do it at some point or another. And look, if you want to ride Aaron Rodgers one more time and you want to develop Will Howard, who you drafted in the 6th round out of Ohio State after he won the national championship, fire away. Not saying he's not going to be good, but I mean that's a very, very low floor and very low ceiling.
That's one of the reasons why I think Tomlin why McCarthy got this job was I think he does love Will Howard, and I think he was literally there the last season with Favre, maybe the last 2 seasons. I forget how many seasons he was there with Favre. And I mean, say what you want, but he was there for the grooming process for Rodgers to take over. And this could very much be that if he decides to come back. I think he is going to come back because why would he play as well as he did this year and felt as healthy as he did and looked as healthy as he did to not do one more year with a familiar coach, with a familiar guy? I think he very much likes it there with the building and the organization. I think he'll come back, and I think this is very much the Steelers are probably looking at this as like hey, McCarthy sees it, or a very big Will Howard fan, and let's continue the growth of him, and maybe he steps in and takes over as the franchise quarterback after he retires afterwards. I don't know, but that's just me thinking out loud here a little bit to you guys.
Sure.
Maybe, and if not, if they're going to keep doing this quarterback carousel thing, they're going to fall into the same trap that Indianapolis has fallen into over the course of the last 10 years since Andrew Luck retired abruptly. And I know Indy.
If Will Howard's not the guy,
yeah. And I know Indy really tried to break out of that by taking Anthony Richardson top 5, and it didn't work out for him. But now they've been stuck in this limbo for 10, 12 years where. Are they a good team? Could they potentially, make a run in the playoffs? But then they get to the playoffs, or they fall short in the regular season, and they fall short in the playoffs. Because at the end of the day, if you do this quarterback piecemeal thing, it's just not going to work out well for your franchise. No. It's just not.
I will say that people here are pretty dead set on they like what they saw out of Daniel Jones last year and are happy continuing on with that.
I'm sure he was great for them last year, but I mean
he's not going to play this year for maybe the whole year. So
yeah, And he comes back hobbled, and we've already seen, a ton
Takes
of
a
Daniel
year.
Jones on the Giants that was not nearly as good. Maybe this was just kind of a flash in the pan thing. There's a lot of things you have to take into consideration if you're the Colts before you just run Daniel Jones back out there as your plan for the next few years.
Well, they're going to
It's
need a
very
plan
easy to
next
look
year
at
anyway.
Sorry, Brooks. I cut you off.
I said they're going to need a plan next year anyway, unless they're just saying like, this could be a perfect time. Like Anthony Richardson, go out there and hey, if you win the job, if you just take over and start killing it, then good for us, good for you, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, because I think we all know that Daniel Jones is probably going to be out all next year. It almost takes another year to get your feet under you. We've seen this over the past 4 or 5 years with quarterbacks.
Mhm.
They've been older, but I would assume that trickles down. I mean, we saw it with
McCarthy too.
with Christian McCaffrey too. It took him a year to get his legs under him too.
Yeah.
So
And if you, I know it's very hard to look at any kind of positive at a Daniel Jones getting hurt, but if there is a positive, it can be you can do what you did with Sam Darnold in Seattle. You can sign him to a below market deal, which allows you to build up a team around you. And because he's going to be hobbled, he might not even play next year, like you said. So you can sign to a $25 million per year deal, like a Baker Mayfield deal.
Yeah.
And you can have him for 4 additional years at, let's say, $100 million, making up a random number, making up years. But it allows you to build up the offensive line, spend money on receivers, spend money on DNs, like all that stuff. And that can be very beneficial, but it's going to take some time, and it's going to stink for the foreseeable future. But you can at least maybe have that positive outlook.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just to put a bow on the coaching carousel stuff, I think it's really interesting. Just how many jobs are open every single year. I think back in the day, it was like you're lucky if 2 or 3 coaching jobs open up. I mean, that's even when teams were winning 3 games, 4 games, a couple of years in a row, they would still stick with their coaches, give them an opportunity to run the program. And now you see guys like Daboll, guys like McDaniel, who we think are probably going to get more jobs or another head coaching job in the future. They're settling for these OC jobs and not taking these lower tier head coaching jobs because they know that there's going to be more openings next year. I think this is a trend line that's probably going to continue in the NFL. It's continuing in a lot of sports, a lot more eyeballs, a lot more money going into these organizations. So they expect results quicker. And I think that's kind of the way society's moving as well. But it's interesting when you have guys who are clearly, I would say, head coaching candidates and guys who are at the upper echelon who are settling for coordinator jobs just because they know that they're going to have the opportunity next year or maybe years down the line to get those head coaching jobs again. And maybe if you're an older guy like Monken, you're not going to have as many of those opportunities, and that's why you take this Cleveland job, like we said. So yeah, anything else on the head coaching carousel? There's a lot of stuff we went down. Also, Denver fired their offensive coordinator. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, what's going on here? They fired their offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach. They cleared house on the offense. They were number 14 in offense for the season.
I don't know, man. I think this is just a Sean Payton ego thing, and I've
Sean Payton flex.
Yeah,
hey, I should have went for it. I should have kicked the field goal.
it's interesting too because their pass game coordinator Davis Webb or whatever his first name is.
That's the guy everyone loves, right?
Everybody loves him, and he pretty much fired everybody around him. So I feel like that's almost an indictment on him as well. So I don't know.
I liked Sean Payton a ton when he was with the Saints, and he got wronged by the NFL with that bounty stuff and getting fined $8 million, losing a full season. I mean, was he at somewhat fault? Yeah, but not a whole season, not $8 million. But now it just seems like he's on some sort of power trip, and it doesn't come off well. And this just looks bad.
What a name!
He's always been kind of like that though. With Sean Payton.
What a name here by this comment. Jesus Crust.
Jesus Crust.
Love this.
I like that a lot.
That's AI generated, right?
I
don't know. I like it though. I like the comment. All right. We haven't talked about the games. You guys want to talk about the games?
Sure.
We don't have. There's not much to say about Patriots Broncos. We kind of expected it. We kind of knew we were going to get going into it. I didn't realize that the weather was going to get that bad in the second half.
I don't think they do that.
And
they did.
Well, if they did, then I don't know. I hope they would have coached differently a little bit.
Did.
If they did know that. But Jarrett Stidham on it wasn't the first drive. I think they punted and then they got the ball back. 5 minutes into the game, Jarrett Stidham hit Marvin Mims on like a 50-yard bomb. And then they scored like the next play or 2 plays later. And I was like, oh shit, like this is going to be a real game. And then I don't think he threw another good pass the rest of the game.
Yeah. And I don't want to put all that on him either too.
Yeah.
But it was all, I mean, at the end of the game or the second half of the game, both teams would only pass the ball going in one direction. It was wild.
And Tony Tony Romo made a very, very, very good point, and something we don't ever think of. The Patriots had a decided advantage wearing white uniforms, given that weather in the second half, because it was coming down pretty damn good. And he said, and they even said, I think Jim Nantz said, we can't see the ball, so like what we see on TV is a much better view than what the actual human eye sees. So wearing white unis, he might have seen a bunch of snowflakes running around out there.
I've felt that way a couple times when I've seen a couple playoff games, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that excuse, to be honest with you.
I don't think they would make an excuse.
I hear what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
We've got some interesting breaking news, not in football. Patrick Reed has gone to Twitter and announced that he is being reinstated to the PGA Tour for next season, not for this season. He is leaving Live Golf. I am excited to announce that I'm returning to the PGA Tour as a past champion member for 2027 season, and am eligible to begin competing in PGA Tour events later this year. I will continue to play as an honorary lifetime member on the DP World Tour, which is the Euro Tour. But he is leaving Live Golf effective immediately. This is the second guy we've seen do this now, with Koepka also having done this. But Koepka, easier road back into the PGA Tour because people like him and he draws money for the sport. People do not like Patrick Reed.
No,
but it looks like he's coming back.
Patrick Reed falls through the first body of water at the first course he plays on.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy who's just going to compete at the Masters every year and not really be heard of unless he gets his game back into form. But it's interesting seeing some of these guys defect from Live. But let's stay on NFL. We can get on to golf, I guess, a little bit later. Yeah, I mean, anything else on Patriots Broncos? I'm sorry, I kind of interrupted. Not really. I mean, look, it's let's go to the Patriots. They're going to the Super Bowl. Feels a year early, maybe 2 years early. This team doesn't really feel like a Super Bowl team to me. I do think Drake May is good. I do not think he's played all that well in the playoffs, albeit he's played probably the best gauntlet of defenses in the AFC to get to the Super Bowl. And now he's going to be playing probably the best defense in the NFC in the Seattle Seahawks. Maybe if you take out the Eagles, I don't really know you can compare them however you want, but the Seahawks have been really good defensively. I don't know. What is your thought on this Patriots team? Do we think that this is a team that we see as a Super Bowl contender? We see as a Super Bowl team? I know they're in it, but it feels like in most years this is not a team that's getting there, right?
Correct, but they played the schedule that was put in front of them. I will say this about the Patriots is their left tackle had a great year during the regular season.
And he's been bad, yeah.
He has not been good in the playoffs when he started facing heavy edge rushers. He has looked very bad. His short arms was the big knock on him coming out of the draft. And I know Chris Kobus is going to eviscerate us for this, and that's totally fine because he's a massive Patriots fan. But it's not that Will Campbell isn't got great technique. He's getting overpowered and getting pushed back into – he's almost sacking his own quarterback, getting pushed by powerful DNs.
I will say this in his defense. He did miss like the last 3 or 4 games of the regular season with an injury, so he's probably not playing 100% through these playoffs.
No one's 100%.
I know, and he's a rookie, not playing 100%. So that's my devil's advocate. But you're right; he hasn't been playing as well, and Drake May's been running for his life a little bit more. I love the naked boot. I love that he didn't tell anybody, including his O-line. It was supposed to be a handoff to the right, and he naked booted it out to the left, and they won the game on that play. I think that's ballsy as shit. I think that if that goes the wrong way, you're probably looked at in New England media a little bit differently. But I don't know. I thought that the AFC didn't really have the team this year for me, and maybe that team was Denver, and we just didn't get to see it because Bo Nix got hurt and he didn't get to play in the last game in the AFC. But I don't know. It just feels to me. It felt like for the last couple of weeks, it just felt like whoever came out of the NFC was going to win the Super Bowl, and we'll see. We still have to play the game, but for me, I don't really see this New England team as one of the top tier Super Bowl contenders. But they went through that AFC that was laid out in front of them, and they played the schedule that was laid out in front of them. There's nothing.
I'm going to derail the football stuff. I just got a text from one of our friends. I will not name names because I don't want Brooks to get mad. But he said, "Does Brooks look like Drew Carey or Dilbert without a tie?"
Fair.
Dilbert's good.
Gilbert makes sense. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, I forgot that existed. Brooks, what's your thoughts on the Pats? Do you agree with me, or do you think this is a little bit better team than I'm giving it credit for?
I think they're fine. They don't blow me away, but honestly, they had a very good chance of losing that game. They just made less mistakes than the Broncos did. And I mean, that's different from. I mean, we saw Drake May fumbling the ball everywhere the week before, so it's I think that's the only way they can stay in games is by not making mistakes most times. So
they're so well coached. They remind me, and I hate to say this because it's comparing apples to semi-oranges. They remind me a lot of the Indiana team. Well coached, don't make mistakes, don't get in their own way.
Yeah. If they lose a close game and score 20 plus, it's a good look. If they win, we were all wrong. If they get blown out, we were all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's pretty much the summation of it. Once again, I think this team has a great future. I think Vrabel's one of the best coaches in the league. I think May is clearly a very talented young kid. I think they need a lot of work on the O-line and the skill position guys, but they're in the fucking Super Bowl. So that's more than a lot of these teams can say. On the other side, Seahawks, Rams, a lot more entertaining of a game. Not a lot of points, or I don't think any points in the fourth quarter.
No points in the fourth quarter. In either game. No points in the fourth quarter.
But I will say this about the fourth quarter: incredibly riveting football to watch because they were moving up and down the field, and the Rams got into the red zone. They just couldn't put it together at the end. The taunting penalty on Tariq Woolen is ridiculous. I don't know who the taunting penalties are for. The fans don't care. The players don't care. And they keep throwing 15-yard flags on these fucking things when the guys are just celebrating to the sideline. I know that they've been told their whole lives that they shouldn't be doing this, but this is the way that the world is now. People fucking brag and they like that now. And it's hot, what Dad would call hot dogging. They're always hot dogging on the field.
Hot dogging.
But if you pick off a ball, you can run through the fucking other end zone and do a giant pose with their whole fucking team. But if you go down the sideline and talk shit to one guy on the opposing sideline, it's a 15-yard flag on the most important 4th and 12 of the fucking season. I don't get it. I just don't. Why? Why do we have these penalties?
And what people don't realize is Tariq Woolen was getting shit talked by Matt Stafford going down the line.
I'm sure he was.
It's like, all right.
Just like what's it for? Like what is it? Are they trying to set a precedent for like kids? Like, hey, don't do this because the kids are gonna fucking do it. Like nobody cares. I don't care. I'm a sports fan. I watch it every week. I don't give a fuck. I hope they talk shit. It's more fun for me to watch.
I think they're trying to police it so it doesn't get out of hand. That'd be my assumption.
I get that, but in a playoff in the NFC Championship on 4th and 12, you're gonna call a 15-yard flag like that? That's fucking crazy. I don't know. It ended up mattering. The Seahawks won the game anyway. I just feel like we need to get these penalties. That kind of penalty, we don't need that in the NFL. It drives me nuts.
Elephant in the room.
What's the elephant in the room?
Bill Belichick.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it. Bill Belichick has not been elected as a first ballot NFL Hall of Famer. He is, I think, the winningest coach of all time. Second winningest coach of all time. He is the most Super Bowls by a mile, and if you include his coordinators, Super Bowls, he has 8, I believe. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Brian, you go ahead. You look like you got a rant stewing in your head.
No, that's just how I naturally look. But it's bullshit. 3 coaches have gone in first ballot all time. And Laura, that's totally fine. You can hold that against him. The man still won a shitload of games. If you take that one season out where he cheated, He's still the second winningest coach of all time. 6 Super Bowls. Chuck Noll, Tom Landry, and I'm missing the third coach to win in the first ballot. That man should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. The 11 people who didn't vote for him should be ashamed of themselves. Bill Polian can go suck ass. That's trash. I totally understand and get the cheating scandal stuff. I get it. None of us were happy about it. And even the Ravens, multiple scandals. Dell's texted me multiple scandals. You got Spygate 1, Spygate 2, and then you have Deflategate. Deflategate's more about Brady.
Deflategate's not anything.
Yeah, but it's
nothing. They won that game by 50.
Yeah, but that being said, I just he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. And is he going to get in the Hall of Fame next year? Absolutely, he's going to get in. I think it actually was a good day for Bill Belichick, which sounds really stupid to say.
Good game, honestly, you're right. People probably have a little bit more of a positive perspective of Bill Belichick today than they did yesterday, because I think he's lost a lot of people the last couple of years with the girlfriend and with the way UNC's gone so far and the way he's talked about the Patriots, maybe with some sour grapes. But
Dell's doing his dockside rant via text to me. He's got to wait 1 year. Boo hoo.
The first ballot Hall of Fame coaches. Actually, there's 5 of them, Brian. You dumb idiot. You said 3.
I guess in the Super Bowl era.
Since 1990, there's only 3: Landry, Noll, and Shula. Before that, George Hallis and Curly Lambeau both went.
Yeah, so the guys who didn't win,
year, I believe. Yeah.
And didn't he have more Super Bowls than those last 2 combined?
I think Landry had 3 and Noll had 4.
How many did Shula have? 1?
2.
2? Okay.
1 with the Colts, 1 with the Dolphins.
That's what I meant. Shula and
but also he went
Landry.
to 8 Super Bowls, and that doesn't include his Giants years.
He went to 8 Super Bowls with 6 and 8 as the head coach, and he won 2 also as a D coordinator for the Giants with Bill Parcells and was Parcells both of them? I don't know.
With the Giants, Parcells is both of them. Yeah,
both of them. Hostetler
it's just a shame, and it shows you what kind of a sham it is that Bill Belichick didn't get in. I mean, these guys are voting, and you're not supposed to take off-field shit. And I know the Spygate stuff is I guess technically on field, but it's practice stuff. And yes, did he cheat? Absolutely. But I can't hold just that against him. All the other stuff he did was so positive and so good.
He's overwhelming. Like the numbers are overwhelming in his favor. As like he's the most influential.
So
I don't know.
I'm reading up on the Spygate stuff here a little bit just to refresh my memory on everything. I think the practice stuff was just like alleged stuff. I don't think he ever got caught doing that. So
he did. They ended up finding the organization. I want to say like $1 million or like
$500
$2 million.
They
500,000, and they lost the draft pick.
They find Belichick. So Spygate 1, and let me explain to you what Spygate 1 was. This was during a Jets Week 1 game in 2007. The Patriots were caught videotaping the New York Giants defensive coach's signals from the sideline during a game at the Meadowlands. The NFL had already sent a league memo before 2007 clarifying that teams could not observe signals but could use video equipment to record from certain locations for that purpose. So he was allowed to do it, just not from the sidelines. Bill Belichick was fined $500,000. The Pats were fined $250,000. The Pats lost a 2008 first-round draft pick, and the NFL season destroyed the tapes. So that doesn't sound too terrible to me. He was doing something he was allowed to do just from the wrong spot. That sounds a little ridiculous.
It's the whole thing has been overblown forever, and the Deflategate thing. Deflategate thing is even worse because
Deflategate I'm not even going to bring up because that's a no story. That's a non-story.
It's a story because it cost Tom Brady 4 games and it cost him a first-round draft pick. Was it a first-round draft pick?
They won a Super Bowl, so it really doesn't matter what the fuck it cost them.
It's ridiculous.
Same season. They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was the most ridiculous thing that ever happened. Even the team that they said that it came out afterwards that said possibly brought it up was like they beat like, why are we even doing, who is complaining about this? They beat us by 50. With the inflated ball, they would have beat us by what? 40? What
The
are you
Ravens were
doing?
the team the Ravens were the team that reported it. Then they beat the Colts in the next week.
Well, the Colts took the flack for it.
The Colts are like, yeah, the Polian and Irsay were like, the Patriots fucking hate that.
Yeah.
Both of them.
So everybody thinks it's them, but I know the Ravens were the one that first brought it up because I think this is a bullshit, non-story issue. I mean, deflate the balls to wherever you want them. I could give a shit less. It should be preference to the quarterback.
Yeah. This is also something probably like a million people have done in the past and nobody ever talked about until Patriots did it.
It is. And there's been multiple quarterbacks that have come out since then and said, yeah, we try to get the balls the way we like them. Why would we not?
Yeah.
So in Spygate 2, which was the Bengals sideline filming, it was 2019, a Patriots film crew working on the team's Do Your Job content was found to have filmed the Cincinnati Bengals sideline during a game. The Patriots position was essentially, this was a content documentary mistake, not an advanced scouting operation. And those Do Your Job documentaries are done by the NFL. So I don't know why, you know what I mean? But in that one, Brian, to your point, the Pats were fined $1.1 million. I mean, this is way different. 2007 to 2019. Right?
Repeat offender fine, basically.
Yeah. And difference in what money is actually valued at, probably.
And that's a parking ticket for these teams.
Patriots were fined $1.1 million. The Patriots lost a 2021 third-round pick, and the employee involved was suspended. So I guess this was a team's video and production staff member. Belichick was not separately punished the way he was in 2007. So, I mean, these are no stories to me. If this is the reason why they're keeping them out, everybody's doing this. They literally said you're allowed to do this from certain, you just couldn't do it from the sideline. You just got to do them from different spots in the field, but you're allowed to film them. That's what this just said. So give me a fucking break. Yeah.
This seems like sour grapes. And look, for the people that are on that committee, of the 50 guys and the 11 that didn't vote for him, look, you got to take your pound of flesh out of Bill Belichick, and you did it at the fucking expense of the integrity of the Pro Football Hall of Fame voting committee. Like, that's exactly what you did.
They embarrassed the Hall of Fame committee, is what they did, because everybody's calling them out right now, and everyone's calling out the integrity of it now. Bill Polian came out or somebody said that they called Bill Polian and put this on Twitter that he did not have anything to do with blah, blah, blah. But then in the same tweet that he put out, he said he's 95% sure that he can't remember if he did or didn't vote for Belichick to go into the Hall of Fame. He's 95% sure that he did. That alone, get off the fucking ballot. If you can't
get off the ballot.
Fucking
by the way,
remember,
this vote was taken on Friday. It's not like it's like a year and a half ago. So you don't remember Friday?
You're either not of sound mind, or you're an absolute fucking liar. One or the other.
Yeah, why don't we put Roger Clemens on that goddamn fucking committee? He misremembers everything, which isn't even a real fucking word.
It isn't a court of law, but
now
that's another story.
Dilbert, I believe you. And Dilbert and Boo Boo. I got Dilbert and Boo Boo here with
Boo Boo. I forgot about Boo Boo.
Boo Boo. I forgot about that too.
but yeah, I mean, I think we're all on the same page here. And then so Polian came out and said that, and basically said, like, yeah, I voted for him, 95% sure I voted for him, blah, blah, blah. And then there's another member who's still a writer for The Athletic that says that what was his, let me get his actual wording here. He said, he said, we're not supposed to disclose how we voted. So you're not supposed to, or you're not allowed to, because if you're not supposed to, then you're a pussy and you should come out and tell us how you voted. You're not supposed to. Well, Bill Polian just did. Or he's trying to remember, or he's lying, one or the other.
Trying to remember. I love that.
So, this all looks so bad on the NFL Hall of Fame, which I held in way higher regard than the MLB Hall of Fame, but this just blew everything up for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And look, Dell's right. Look, he has to wait a year. That sucks.
Sure, but I mean,
And
if you're talking about the history of the NFL, this is the best coach.
Yeah, it's if not the best coach, it's the top 3 coach of all time.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the whole thing's ridiculous. I share what you guys said. I don't really have anything to add, other than the fact that I'm 11-1 in the playoffs, picking these games. By the way,
Wait, who's the one? Who's the one?
The only one that I lost was fucking Laura. Yeah. Really.
I think I'm 1-11.
You're 3-9, Brian 7-5. By the way, guys, we've had 3 team rides, 3-0.
Hey, Biscuit. Hey, did you guys like my idea for my punishment for losing the national championship game? I had to do the entire podcast with the pacifier in, and the pacifier will actually have like a dangly toy or something.
That's gonna be annoying as hell to listen to you speak like that.
Well, no, I'll take it out when I have to talk and put it back in. We can think of something else. I'm not doing the milk challenge. No chance. I poop enough already.
We'll come up with something here.
Yeah.
Drew's were too elaborate. I can't get into those.
Yeah.
I'll tell him to tone it down a little. Something you can do during the podcast.
I mean, I'll do the entire podcast shirtless and wear a necktie. I would like that too much.
Maybe Speedo. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it this week. We'll definitely have it. You're going to pay. We'll put a date on it. Punishment will be made Tuesday.
That's fine.
We'll talk about it during the week and get an answer for you tomorrow, I guess.
Also, schedule for me is going to be weird next week because I'm leaving 6 a.m. on Thursday to fly out of the country. So if we want to do our Super Bowl preview stuff, we're going to have to do it earlier in the week next week. But anyway, we'll figure that out.
But yeah, that's good to know. We can at least we can plan in advance, and I'll see if Deli or we can see if Foy or Merrick or someone wants to join and have a third party here, or if Drew can make it.
Yeah. I'm interested in all this live golf stuff because it's laying out a roadmap. For
one thing. Guys. All right, last thing with the NFL, then we'll move on. Got to give a shout out to Jets just hired Brian Duker as their defensive coordinator. The reason why that's a big deal to us is because he is a former Calvert Hall alumni.
Nice.
He's a year older than me. He's my catcher from Calvert Hall's best friend. So shout out to him. Brian Duker got the defensive coordinator job with the Jets, which I think is awesome.
That's awesome.
I did see that. That's really cool. He's 36 years old. It says the headline on ESPN says Jets hired DC Duker, but Aaron Glenn likely to call the defensive plays.
Makes sense.
Interesting. But yeah, young guy getting that job. Good for him. Love that. Go Hall.
Go Hall.
Yeah, we've got some Hall guys in the NFL still. Sean Tucker on the Tampa Bay Bucks, and I think that might be it actually right now.
I mean,
Lawrence
we have
Cajun
another
team.
I don't know, but there is a strength and conditioning coach still in the NFL. I don't know who he's with now. So.
Giannis Antetokounmpo has asked for a trade. You guys don't care about that, probably.
No.
Not really much going on in baseball other than some weird stuff with Puerto Rico and the Astros not letting their guys play.
There was insurance issues.
Yeah, so I guess Correa came out and said basically he has a $31 million salary this year and he doesn't have insurance on it. It basically, if he gets hurt in the WBC, I guess the Astros would be
they're liable.
They'd be able to void that contract, or he'd be liable. And he said, "I can't. It's just too big of a risk to take. I can't play with no insurance." And I totally understand that.
Is this his fault or the team's fault for not getting insurance on the contract?
I think it might be the agent's fault more than anything else, because that's probably fine print shit. Is my assumption.
He signed this deal with the Twins because he signed a free agent contract with the Twins and then was traded to the Astros. So I don't know how that works, but it seems like it's the same for Altuve, who's come out and he's been a little bit more weird about this. He said he signed the paper that he's willing to go. This is his exact quote. "I signed the paper that I'm willing to go play like I did for the last 2 World Baseball Classics. It's always an honor to represent my country. I played in the last one and the one before, and I'm trying to play in this one. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it seems like this year it's not up to me."
He's coming off, but he's also coming off foot surgery over the offseason. So that's a little bit of a different little twist there that he didn't have in the previous 2 WBCs.
Yeah. So this whole thing is just it's bizarre to me.
It just seems like the team's covering their ass. And look, I would do the same thing if I were the Orioles and say Gunnar doesn't have insurance. He hurts his oblique. We'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
Fair, but I mean, there's an article out there that the Stros basically went to Altuve and asked him not to play in this, which what you said is probably because of his foot. But you know what? Fuck that. Like, this grows the game. Fuck
Yeah.
you. If they want to go play, let them play. You should not have a say in this. And to be honest with you, if Correa doesn't have insurance on it, screw it. You should go get insurance real quick, or I mean, either go get insurance, go get Lords of London insurance, or fucking pay the consequence of him not playing for the year. Like, let him play. If he wants to play, let him play.
Bet the under on Calci for how many games he plays, or whatever.
I would have bet the under. I would have bet the under on Lords of London being referenced during this podcast. But
we mentioned it in the last one.
one.
We mentioned the last one. That's 2 in a row. But yeah, that very much pisses me off. I think that's bullshit for an organization to go to somebody and ask them not to play.
Are we done with baseball, or do you guys want to hit on anything else baseball oriented?
Well, I don't really have.
I got some more
baseball stuff.
All right, fire away, Brooks. What do you got?
We brought up Bader. The other one I wanted to bring up, Jose Ramirez, our favorite underrated player of all time that never gets mentioned, just signed a contract extension. He had 3 years left, $69 million left on his deal. He extended. His new deal is now a total, like, take this with starting today, is 7 years, 175. So he added 4 years and $70 million to his.
All right, so he threw away his old contract and gave him 7 years instead of having 10 now, 7 plus 3. Yeah. All right.
Correct.
Which is cool. It's unfortunate.
He's worth every penny.
I was going to say it's unfortunate for him, but it seems like it's been his decision to take a little bit of a discount to stay in Cleveland, because Alex Bregman just got a contract for 5 years, $175 million, and I would say Jose Ramirez is a better player than Alex Bregman is, and so he's basically getting the same contract as Bregman, but add 2 years. He's taking that hometown discount for Cleveland. It seems like he wants to stay there. He likes it there. He said it multiple times. He doesn't really want to leave, and I mean, he's gonna, if he continues at the pace he is. He's been throughout the last 8-10 years of his career. He's going to be one of the best Cleveland Indians of all time.
Yeah, without a doubt. And he's a Hall of Famer by far. I think he's a Hall of Famer now, honestly.
Yeah. So I love that guy. I agree. I'm glad that you brought him up.
Love that for both sides. I think that's awesome. Did we bring up the Mackenzie Gore stuff last time?
I don't think we did.
I think we
maybe a little bit.
Maybe we did. Mackenzie Gore got traded to. I think we did. Because I remember saying Mackenzie Gore got traded to the Rangers, and what was given up in that trade, I don't think that we would have been willing to give that up.
Not even close.
There's not a ton more to even bring up. I mean, you can bring up the side by sides, but it's been so long now that anybody listening to this podcast has seen it.
Yeah.
Sir Anthony Dominguez signed with the White Sox, 2 years, $10 million. And big news for the Orioles. Heston Kjerstad is expected to be a full participant in spring training, according to our new manager.
That's good. Good news. Craig Albernaz.
Which is also awesome.
Dylan Carlson, minor league contract with the Cubs, and Mancini got a minor league contract.
Mandingo. Yeah, Mandingo got one.
Was it Angels, maybe?
Angels, yep.
Angels.
Yep. Those are awesome. Two friends of the show. Chas McCormick signed a minor league deal with the Cubbies, and Timmy Meza back with the Phillies again. It's going to be a minor league deal. He gets a invite to Major League Camp, so he basically he's got to earn his spot if he's to get there, but he gets to stay at home, which I know is a big deal for him. He's got some little ones there, so he doesn't have to be flying all across the country. In terms of where he's playing his home games. And for those of you, to add to that, for those of you who were pissed off about the Burns stuff, that stuff does matter. I'm telling you right now, it does. And I guess we can finish baseball off with Framber. I just saw something, and I sent it to you guys, that Eduardo Perez was on MLB Network Radio saying that he talked to Framber's agent, and Framber is basically, all the contracts are in. It sounds like he's just weighing his options, and maybe one of the teams that he does want to go play for isn't up to where he wants them to be for their contract. So this just screams to me that the Orioles might be one of the top bidders in this, if not the top bidder, but he wants to go somewhere else potentially. So even if he does land here, keep that in mind.
He's using leverage, like, I'm going to use the Orioles to lily pad another high-end deal, or not higher-end deal.
Or somewhere he wants to go. I don't know what that
He wants
means.
to go. Let's call the Diamondbacks. Just making up a team.
Diamondbacks, maybe. I mean, are the Astros? Why aren't the Astros still in this? Why aren't they rumored to be trying to keep him in the loop to bring him back? I don't know. So, whoa, boo boo.
You got it, boo boo.
Sorry, sneeze attack.
Happens, man. I mean, I'm coughing and snotting everywhere. I know the human body can make so much snot.
I think I've gotten to the point where if we sign Framber, I'm going to be excited. If we don't sign Framber, like I'll be okay if we sign Framber. I'll be okay if we don't.
I think he makes our rotation so much better. The floor is so much higher with him in the rotation. But, I mean, at this point, I would love him. I've been saying all offseason, I think we need a top of the rotation guy to add. But, if we go out and sign a couple lower tier guys and piecemeal it that way, and then I don't know. I see that as the more likely scenario.
I want someone that wants to be here. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I want someone that wants to be here. That's flat out.
I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about the guy's got a lot of miles on him over the past 5 years. Is something bound to happen here soon? I don't know. This is just me thinking out loud when I'm looking at his numbers. And the other thing is, I was thinking about this the other night. Everybody keeps coming out and saying that he's a clubhouse cancer. Is that based on just the cross up, or is there other stuff that I don't know about? Because I've been doing searches on this to try to find stuff where he's been a bad clubhouse guy or whatever, like anything. I've been trying to find anything. The only thing that's coming up is the cross up, obviously, but I can't find.
That's good. That's going to come up. Yeah, I haven't heard anything or even seen anything.
So I just don't think that's like, if he had a bad moment, can we say he's a bad clubhouse guy? Like, you know what I mean?
It's a really bad moment, but
it's a really bad moment.
It's a really bad moment, but I agree. I tend to agree with you. It's not. I don't really know. I've tried to research that as well. I don't really have a definitive answer. I would guess if I am going on Google and looking for examples of people saying Framber's a bad guy behind the scenes, and I'm not finding anything, then he's probably not that bad.
Like, I'm seeing that, but the only thing they're referencing is the cross up, and I'm just like, okay, let's get past this. If he says he's sorry and he had a lack of, or he had a
lapse in judgment,
lapse in judgment. If he had a misstep, if this was a huge fuck up that he owns, which he hasn't really yet, which is something, but I think that also has to do with the organization and the head coach saying, "Hey, we're not going to say that you did this because that's even worse." But whatever. Maybe he did behind the scenes on that 20-minute video they sent out. I don't know. But I just can't find anything else where they're just like, yeah, he's always been a hothead in the locker room, and he's always been a problem in the locker room. He's always been this. I've seen nothing. I can't find anything.
And that means there's not much to find, and then we just move on from that. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying we got to move on from the topic, but if we can't find it, what are we just digging to dig?
I am, because if I'm gonna sign somebody for 4 or 5 years to be in our locker room, then maybe. Me personally, I want the pitcher, because to Dustin's point, he's a great pitcher.
Yeah,
I want him on the staff, but it's also like, is it gonna fuck everything up like a year and a half ago? You know what I mean?
I guess if you're a GM, you have to be terrified of the Anthony Rendon situation, too. And I don't think that he has any kind of aspirations like that, but you don't know. So
we don't talk. That name's banned from this podcast. All right.
There was a story that I sent to you guys last night that I don't think is true. That the Orioles have sent out a 6-year, $180 million offer.
I think he would have been signed in fucking early December if we would have had that.
Well, it said it said like that was like the final offer that was sent out, and this came from Baerga 99. It's Carlos Baerga Diaz. I don't know if he's related to the actual Carlos Baerga A couple other Latin baseball writers have retweeted it with check marks next to their name. I also, again, not familiar with all the writers over there or that are here that do all of this. So I don't know if they're real. I don't know if they're like credible sources or not. But yeah, that's a big number, which I would say that's an overpay. But again, not my money. Fuck it, go get them.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. Nothing else really on baseball, I don't think.
It's the dead zone time. It's dead zone time until spring training starts and the World Baseball Classic.
Eerily quiet. I feel like some bombs are going to start dropping here.
It's going to come. March is going to hit hard because we have World Baseball Classic and March Madness at the same time.
And spring training.
And then after that we get spring training. And
I would like to bring up something prior to that. I just don't like to glance over the fucking Winter Olympics are coming up.
Yeah, I forgot. That's going to be happening at the same time.
You forgot.
Too.
We're talking about Framber Valdez and him crossing up a catcher. The Winter Olympics are coming, and the Swedish fucking curling team is sexy. There's something hot about a blonde with blue eyes skirting across ice with a shuffleboard puck. I don't know what it is.
And the hockey is going to be fantastic.
Where are they doing the Winter Olympics at?
It's in Italy. It's Milan Cortina, I think. I can't pronounce it appropriately.
Yeah, that's what it is. February 6th through the 22nd. So yeah, we have that leading into March Madness and World Baseball Classic, leading into the Masters and opening day, leading into baseball season. So
what sports do you like in the Winter Olympics? Hockey, we all agree on.
Biathlon.
Biathlon?
Because it makes the least amount of sense. It's cross country skiing combined with pinpoint shooting. It makes no sense at all. I do not understand it at all.
I love curling. I don't know why I enjoy curling.
Curling's great. The 4 a.m. club nights for curling they were.
Oh, they were
4
great.
a.m. hockey.
We're not allowed to say we were at the club at 4 o'clock in the morning.
We
all right, we weren't there.
Yeah, we're talking about the other club.
I will say I was at
bobsledding.
The 6 a.m. hockey game at No Idea for the Russian USA game.
Oh my God, that was one of the best.
The TJ Oshie shootout game? God.
We went from there.
Some of the bars in College Park were opening for that. I think Cornerstone opened at like 6 a.m. for that.
That's awesome.
We went to No Idea. We left. I mean, obviously got obliterated for that at 6 a.m. in the morning, and then went from there. The Orioles had a noon or a 1 o'clock game.
It worked out well for you.
Like it went there. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I get into the speed skating because we have one of the most dominant speed skaters in the world. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he is so dominant, and seeing what those guys do is incredible.
Yoko Ono?
No.
Apollo Ono?
Apollo Ono, yeah.
Apollo Ono.
Yoko Ono's a singer. Yeah.
Yoko
Apollo Ono used to be on Subway commercials back in
Apollo Anton Ono.
Man, but I mean, to be honest with you, I could care less about the Winter Olympics unless it's hockey. Curling's fun to watch. Like, I'll watch the stuff when it's on, but I'm not going to like be.
Some of our friends get into figure skating. I know that's weird to say, but they kind of dig it.
For me, that's the thing that like I'm changing the channel on the TV.
I'm with you.
Like, if I'm in the bar, I'm going out of my way to change the TV in the corner to something other than figure skating because it's the only thing on TV for the whole month.
And thank you to Miss Ashley Webb, who just said Jordan Stoltz is the speed skater that is kick ass for America. So thank you, Miss Ashley. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, let's get real. It's gonna be the WBC. It's gonna be owning everything.
It's gonna be hockey. Well, I'm gonna watch a lot of
hockey too.
Yeah. And then I can't think of any other winter sports really. You like the skeleton?
By the way, that's a sport I would never do.
That's the most dangerous one for sure, right?
I will never understand how you get into something like that.
I don't know how fast they're going, but they're going fast as shit. They're going head first.
How do they practice? Do they practice by doing it? Because they're risking death every time they practice.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
the best guys in the sport never make it to the Olympics because they die beforehand.
Speaking of death, man, this is weird, but did anyone watch that skyscraper guy from?
Dude, that was crazy.
Dude, yes, I want to bring this up. I haven't.
Brooks said he was like sweating.
Oh man,
I'm sweating. Like
whenever I start thinking about it, Dusty, have you watched this at all?
I watched when you sent the text. He was like towards the top of the building already, and I turned it on late.
Oh
but I
my
saw the end
God.
of it. Yeah,
My hands and my feet start sweating every single time. Like,
he's just got chalk on his hands and no fucking bungee cord, nothing. Like this guy's just
every
climbing a fucking
time I think about it, not even watch it. If I think about it, like I just start, my hands and feet start sweating.
Yeah.
he when he leaned back, he was around some sort of part of the building that was like attached, and he leans back with just his legs, and he gets this talc powder out of his little pouch.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, like this is.
Honestly, that was probably the most secure he was the entire time, because I mean he gets to wrap his strongest muscles around something to hold him there. He's probably
it was like a statue attached to the building that he was like wrapping his legs around.
Man, it was more like, I mean, it looks like you can barely, like there's no like edge to like grab. It's almost like a flat square. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But he's like grabbing like the seams in the concrete.
Dude, his finger strength must be.
He's got to be the strongest guy pound per pound in the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
climbers are crazy.
That's one of those things. You get the money up front, right? You don't wait for the paycheck because you might not get to see the money.
The family does, and he only got 500,000. I wouldn't have done it for 500,000. Fuck that.
Those guys probably do that. He probably does that shit for free.
Well, apparently this wasn't like his hardest stuff either. I haven't watched the entire documentary from Free Solo that's on Netflix all the way through.
One like he climbed a mountain freehand that was ridiculous.
That had like nothing to grab on.
It was like this. He was climbing
up, backwards,
like on an angle. Yeah, and his back was to the ground at some points. It was I don't understand. These
they sold tickets inside this building that he climbed recently, and people were like trying to high five him while he was climbing up the window.
Yeah, fuck those people.
Those people.
Yeah, I would have said they need to have like freaking like they have at museums, or like at zoos. Do not bang on the glass.
Yeah, don't touch the glass.
Do not, because if this guy falls off the
dude, if he slips once, if he makes one bad decision or one bad move,
all game,
Netflix
he's
was
dead.
Insured for. Like if this guy fell and passed away, I'm glad he didn't. Obviously.
Yeah.
What happens
with his wife and kids there?
What happens with Netflix? Does Netflix go down the tank the next day? I don't get it.
They got to have they have to have a tape delay. They have to have like a 10-second delay or something.
I would hope so, man.
I don't know.
And like to Randy's point, when he got to the top,
and then he's taking a selfie.
Yeah,
like and it was windy as fuck, dude. It was so
windy.
Dude, that was
he wasn't standing on a flat surface. He's standing on a curved like dome. Like
when I turned it on, I was like, was he climbing up this whole building with it like 40-mile-an-hour winds? Like, because you could see his shirt flying.
Yes, and then they had to push it back a day because I guess they got rain on Friday, a little bit of rain on Friday, so they had to push it to Saturday. So
it's one of the most exhilarating hour and a halves I've ever watched on television, and that includes any sport I've ever watched in my entire life. And by exhilarating, I mean nerve-wracking to all hell.
Yeah. And the fact that he did it in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, like, what did they think how long it was going to take him? Did he start off? Was he climbing? Was he like Joey Chestnut starting off, like just ripping hot dogs down? Did he get halfway up in like 10 minutes and then slow down?
He took his time.
Yeah, I would hope he's not rushing this one.
Yeah, he's not butt chugging bricks going up to start, then like tapering down. He took his time.
Yeah,
can't believe I said butt chugging bricks.
Nick's not wrong here. If he would have fallen and died, they would have did record numbers.
Yeah,
and to be, I mean, it would have paid double whatever the policy was that they got on him to for the insurance policy.
Thank God they didn't have to deal with that, because I mean it was incredible to watch, but damn, like you said, Brooksy, sweating, like nerve-wracking, like clenching my like legs together, like I got kicked in the balls, like it was nuts.
It was tough to watch, but I mean I couldn't look away. It was
I know.
Beautiful.
Well, what else? We got anything else, boys?
No. Not really. We
right.
got Kepka coming back to Torrey Pines this week, so we got some golf stuff. Maybe we'll talk a little golf tomorrow. We normally on Thursdays do our football previews, but we have a week until the Super Bowl, so I think we're going to let that one marinate a little bit. Maybe we'll talk to maybe some props or some other stuff. But yeah, I think the plan is to be back tomorrow at normal time.
Yeah, we'll do some fun stuff. If we
hopefully.
don't have
Tomorrow normal time, boys.
if we don't have a ton to talk about, then
it could be a goofy day. We'll do.
It'll
some
be a
drafts.
goofy day,
We'll
which
do
is
some,
always fun.
do some
Goofy
other
days
stuff.
are the best days.
Jim Schwartz, by the way, he's still under contract with the Browns as their D coordinator, but apparently, according to Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, apparently he's because Monken was chosen over him. He might be on the outs. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Already.
And then we got Patrick Reed stuff. We'll talk about a lot of this stuff more tomorrow when we know more, probably. But yeah.
All right. So we got tomorrow, and then we'll all figure out schedule and stuff like that. Given that you're leaving town there, Dusty.
Yeah, I'll be out of the country for next weekend for the Super Bowl, so we'll figure something out for next week. But we'll see you guys tomorrow, normal time, hopefully, and we'll be back. We love you.
All right, love you, boys.
Happy birthday,
Hey, Pig and Rooster,
Happy
shout out.
birthday.
Pig and Rooster.
Big and Rooster, shout out. Happy birthday to
Mr. Glenn.
Papa Glenn. We love you.
Yeah, buddy. See you, boys.
See ya.